From Super League to Olympic distance to age group world records to Kona. Go longer with the right fuel at the right time with SFuels.
Aloha kakaiaka means good morning to you. Aloha kakaiaka means good morning to you. And it's breakfast with Bob.
Thank you, Poncho Man. Welcome to our 11th year of Breakfast with Bob from beautiful Huggles on the Rocks. My name is Bob Babbitt. We're brought to you by Master Spas. SFuels go longer. HOKA Let's Fly, Form Smart Swim Goggles, Quintanaroo, Zoot, the original triathlon brand, and of course our Challenged Athletes Foundation. Our next guest coming off of 5th place at the PTO US Open, Mr. Florian Angert. How you doing, Florian?
Hi Bob, thanks for having me. I'm quite fine. I'm here for 8 days now, so I arrived here 1 week ago, and now I'm feeling like also my body arrived here like still a little bit of jet lag, or I had a bit of jet lag the last couple of days, but no, I'm getting used to the climate and already saw like most of the courses so far.
And this is your first time not just racing here, but first time in Hawaii.
Yeah, it's my first time on Hawaii, and of course the first time racing here. I was supposed to be here in 2020, but obviously
a lot of us were.
With COVID that didn't happen, but now I'm really happy to finally be here.
So we were chatting right before we started the interview, and back in 2019, if somebody went sub 8 in a race, that was a big deal.
Yeah.
And when we went to St. George, David McNamee was the one who said, "Hey, I know there's 7,000 feet of climbing here, but we're going to have a number of people under 8 hours, and the winner's going to go sub 750." And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Since people haven't raced here since 2019, you think this is going to be a fast here as well?
Yeah, we had the discussion actually because, as you said, we've been away for 2 years, and the sport in general just got faster and faster. Athletes coming up from shorter distances.
Yes.
And as you said, it doesn't feel like it's still something special, but it gets common that people finish races sub 8. So I think it's really interesting. I think the race here is something special. Different climate, just a really tough course.
Right.
With all the just with the weather conditions, but as you said, I also wouldn't be surprised if like top 6 or 8 maybe go sub 8, like depending a bit on the wind.
Right.
But I think the overall level from the athletes just got way better. So I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, Christian and Gustav have changed things just a little bit, and everybody has to match what they're doing.
Yep.
So Ironman World Championship in St. George, which is a brutal course, and you went sub 8 there, 7:59:34, 2:52 marathon. Take me through that race a little bit. You ended up with 5th place there, which is pretty impressive in that field.
Yeah, I mean, it was my first long distance Ironman World Championship, so on a full distance. I'm still happy with the result. It was not perfect, especially the second half of the marathon was not really great. I struggled a bit there, but I worked hard in training to do better here. But just in general, the race St. George was really great. I mean, we had a good small front pack after the swim, and we managed to hold the gap up to 5.5 minutes.
Right.
On the strong bikers with Sam Long, Lennon Sanders, Sebi, Camberth. So, and we managed to jump off the bike like 5.5 minutes ahead of them. So I think that was quite good. And we'll see how the race here, how everything will play out. But I can imagine that there will be almost the same guys in the front pack after the swim. Adding, I guess Josh Emberger.
Right.
Maybe 1 or 2 other guys, because there's always someone you don't really expect before the race. But will be really interesting to see how that goes.
So when you go to the US Open and get 5th place there, which is probably more money for 5th than you get in a lot of races for winning.
That's for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, how much was that for 5th?
$35,000.
$35,000. That's big dollars for 5th place. But you're racing against Sam Long and a lot of those guys who aren't coming here, who are focusing more short course. That had to give you a lot of confidence, because I'm sure your training was more geared for this race.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it was all about Kona since the training started after my mid-season break in St. George. So,
Yes.
of course, the main focus was Kona, but I'm not the kind of guy who goes to races just to do it for training. So I was in shape for Dallas. Of course, the goal is to peak here, and I think that's everything on schedule right now. So, but as you said, I mean, Magnus was ahead of me. Colin won the race.
Yes.
And Sam Laidlow
Yes.
was in 4th place. So
Yeah.
when I came 5th. So those are guys all racing here. And I think in the men's field, especially, there were like almost 50% of the athletes racing Kona also raced in Dallas. So it was quite a good, like, just to see where everyone is.
Yes.
I know that long distance racing for sure is something completely different that suits some athletes more than especially the PTO distance, which is shorter than 70.3, but still I think it was just a really good last hit out for Hawaii. And what really helped, I think, was that I was there because I already had 7 hours of time difference already done. So it was only 5 hours more, like, kind of back in time compared to Germany. So that was really helpful, I think, to be here. And
you only got into in terms of a pro, 2017-ish?
Yep,
Turned pro
exactly.
in 2017. Was there a race as an age grouper that you did that made you feel like, okay, I think it's time. I think I can compete with the best?
Not really. Maybe it was just from race to race. I didn't really start triathlon with the intention of turning pro.
Right.
I was a swimmer before and just started triathlon for fun, actually, but it was fun and I was really good at it and improved from race to race, and with like just from year to year I improved a lot. And then I had the chance to, like, in a second sport, like I had the chance to turn professional in swimming and decided not to, and then had the chance in triathlon, like adding offered me a contract for their pro team. And I was like, okay, how many people get the second chance turning professional in a sport?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I try it, and if it goes, like, if it doesn't play out like after 2 years, then okay, it's fine, but at least I tried. And I mean, that was back in 2017, and I'm still here.
Was the goal in swimming to go to the Olympics?
Yeah, kind of, but I think in the junior level in Germany I was good. I won some national titles there. But European level was still solid, but like on international level I was not really good or not competitive at all.
Right.
So yeah, that was one of the reasons why I decided against swimming.
So I look at 2021 Ironman Mallorca. You got second place there.
Yep.
But 46-minute swim, 4:23 bike, 2:43, 7:57.
Yep.
That's a real deal across the board. What did you come away with from that race?
Actually, the biggest thing is that I maybe made a wrong decision on the bike, because I was leading the bike after a swim, and then up the first mountain, Cameron Worth, Leon Chevalier, and Christian Hugenhaug went past me, and I decided not to follow them, which made me ride the remaining 150k on the bike alone on my own, which was good and bad at the same time, because you always have a effect of a legal draft within the group. I didn't have that, obviously, because I was riding alone, but I was still able to run a 2:43 marathon. So, and I really felt really good. So, I'm quite confident in my running right now. Just having maybe the swim and the bike from St. George and the run from Mallorca would be a good result here.
Well, and also in 2000, you're Barcelona, 2:48 there. Yep. So you've been pretty consistent going sub 250. In St. George, that was probably a goal for you to be sub 250 there.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I had some problems with nutrition the second half of the marathon, and struggled with cramps the last 5k. So actually, I think the 2:52, I think it was.
Yep.
I think it's still good, and that's also the same, because we started talking about how important is it to go sub 8, or is that still a thing? Running 2:48 to 2:52, like 2015, 2016, you run almost all Ironman races. with that.
Exactly. You win everything.
Yeah, exactly.
You're the
And
king
now
of the
you
world.
have to run like
240. So you run 238.
yeah, stuff like that. In between 238, 242, something like that.
Yeah.
Now that's the times when that's the splits for winning a race. So but as I said, I'm quite confident still with the running I had back in Mallorca, and just overall in the season.
Right.
I did good development in my running, so it's just like a matter of how good I can perform on race day.
Well, and the couple of confidence builders beating Peter Hemrick at 70.3 at that is challenge. Was that Challenge Championship? Something like that? Or you
This
beat him?
year?
Yeah. That was in 18. Third at the Challenge Championship.
yeah.
You led from the front, beat Peter Hemrick in at 70.3, and then you beat Patrick Lange.
Yeah.
That was huge, right? A few weeks before he came here and won his second and defended his title.
Yeah. So he was reigning world champion. I think that was back in Rügen, 2018, where I beat him. It was really cool
That's
to be
really
honest.
cool.
I mean, he was reigning world champion.
Yes.
So
And then he went out, and then he came and won it again.
Yeah.
And you beat him in between.
Exactly. So I was more like racing middle distance at that time, but and especially Patrick, I think, is one of the few guys who really is built for Ironman racing.
Totally.
But still, I mean, he's not going there to come in second or third.
No, anywhere he goes, he's gonna win.
Exactly. So, but that was quite cool to beat him there.
It'd be interesting because one of the people they don't talk a lot about here is Patrick, who's won this race twice.
Yep.
And is probably, one of the premier runners in the sport.
Yeah.
And I think he sort of likes that people are underestimating him.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's always kind of, it takes a lot of pressure when you go in the race kind of as an underdog, which I think in his case is super strange because, as you said, he won twice here. So I don't know how you can still be an underdog.
Yes.
With 2 world championship titles on your side, but
It's crazy.
you always So I think maybe he struggled a bit in the season, but he came in second in Roth.
He'll be ready.
Yeah, he will be ready, and especially in these kind of conditions, on that course, he showed in the past that he's always ready when he has to.
What would it mean to you to win this race?
Sorry?
On your first time out. What would it mean to you to win this race first time out?
Did that ever happen actually?
Yeah, Chrissy Wellington. We've had a few.
Okay.
Yeah.
It would be insane. Honestly, I cannot really imagine imagine or put it into words how it would feel or what I would do afterwards, but would be
That would be pretty damn
would be
cool.
insane.
What are your goals?
I mean, I came in 5th in St. George with a not so perfect marathon, so
Podium is perfect. That would be good.
yeah, on a perfect day, I think podium is not unrealistic. But I know that also top 5, because there are a couple of more guys racing who were not racing in St. George because due to illness or travel restrictions and stuff. So I think everything 5th to 1. I know the podium is possible on a perfect day.
Perfect.
But
Love it.
Yeah.
Florian, thanks so much for taking time.
thank you very much for having me.
Florian Angert has been our guest. Poncho Man, take us out.
Aloha, kakayaka, means good morning to you. Aloha, kakayaka, means good morning to you. And breakfast with Bob.
Thank you, Poncho Man. Yeah.